reason as to why, but Danny Richards will forfeit his third running spot in heat race number 6.
All right, a few more donations to go through here, Chris. Liquid Nitro Beverages out of Farmington throwing $100 on first. Wagaman Brothers out of Blaine throwing $100 on first. East Bradford Sales out of Bradford, Minnesota, $100 on first. Craig Anderson, Swan Graber Auto Group, just threw $100 on first. Thank you very much, Craig. Beth Bomberger throwing $100 on first. LLR Motorsports out of Chippewa Falls throwing $100 on first. As I mentioned, Pistol Pat Hoffman throwing $100 on first. Accurate Auto Repair out of Duluth, they threw $100 on first. Jim Lear Trucking out of Bruce throwing $100 on first. Winning Edge Graphics out of Alexandria, they threw $100 on first. Champ Sports Bar and Grill in New Richmond, I'll be visiting that place this weekend, throwing $100 on first. DirtOnDirt.com out of Bloomington, Illinois, throwing $100 on first. Elwood Express, he got it going with $100 on first out of Bloomer. Dirt Track Supply out of Watertown, South Dakota, throwing $100 on first. GR Motorsports out of Osceola, they threw $100 on first. So I'll continue to go through the donations. You great fans, continue to make your donation here. I'm going to try and get a tally for you. We are getting up there, but I know we have a long, long ways to go to hit that 28,000.
So round 1 is done. We are ready to start round number 2 for your street stock heat races. 6 heat races for round number 2. Same deal, 8 laps apiece. Drivers going to try to accumulate passing points to lock into the top 16 in passing points. Those drivers will go directly to tonight's 35-lap main event. Other drivers will be relegated to one of the 3 B mains and try to work their way onto the back of tonight's starting lineup.
In that last heat race, so he got the bad string where he had to run back-to-back heats.
So just waiting on one car. We had one driver that was in the last heat race we watched, and unfortunately drew the short end of the stick as he will be in this next heat race coming out, so we're going to give him a little time to make changes before round number 2. Going to give you a chance to get up, head down to the concession stand or the FYE Motorsports trailers and check out all the merchandise they have for sale, or head down to the concession stand and get something to eat or drink. Again, we want to thank our presenting sponsors tonight, Molly Motorsports, S&R Towing, and Quanix, the presenting sponsor for tonight's 28th running of the Street Stock Little Dream Race here at the Rice Lake Speedway. I thank all the fans that tuned in on Watch FYE TV and all the fans here at the track for coming out on a Tuesday night when the weather looked a little questionable earlier this evening. So as you can see off to your left, heat race number 1 in round 2, rolling onto the speedway. This is going to be your lineup when they go green. Andrew Hansen out of Iron River will be your pole sitter in that Fast Lane Motorsports number 20. Day is outside Elkmont, Wisconsin's Gunnar Watkins in the Dean and Sue Bar and Grill number 18T. Kevin Bodanovic will start third. He races out of Wausau, Wisconsin in the Hilltop Auto number 82. To his outside, the youngster racing out of Chippewa Falls in the Rap Guys 26T. That's going to be Ty Egan. Cody Coomer will start inside row number 3. He's out of Medford in that All Sports Graphics sponsor number 12. To his outside, Chautauqua, Wisconsin's Dustin Holub in the 4H Junior. Jeff Nowak looked earlier this evening. He will start inside row number 4 for round number 2. He races out of Wausau on the 79N. To his outside, Travis Lowe in that cross-country clearing number 40. And your final starter on the field, Kyle King, who races out of Hastings, Minnesota in the 5K. So the way this works, they draw for their starting position in round number 1. If they start at the front of road in the first heat, they will start towards the back in the second round of heats.
Good, I didn't hear it.
If they started in the middle of the first round of heats, they will start somewhere in the middle of the second round. So if you will remember, driver starting on the shotgun on the field here, Kyle King in 5K. He started on the pole in his first round of heats. He will start dead last in round number 2 and try to accumulate some passing points as he'll try to work his way forward in the second round. So just going to work in the racetrack a little bit as we'll get ready to kick off round number 2. Heat race number 1, Andrew Hansen and Gunnar Watkins will start it off from the front row. Looks like the 12 of Cody Coomer is ready to go. He will tuck in behind the 82, Kevin Bogdanovic, and we are set to go here for your first heat race in round number 2, 8 laps apiece. Top 16 in passing points going to work their way into tonight's A main. We're going to roll these guys around one more time before we kick things off for round number 2. So we're one car short. That's Dustin Holub. He's not making the call here. He's going to be scratch here in the 4H Junior, which will move up Jeff Nowak into that third row. Travis Lowe and Kyle King going to round out your field as Andrew Hansen, the Iron River, Wisconsin driver, will start things off from the pole. Gunnar Watkins is outside in 18T. Green flag is out. We are going heat race number 1 and round number 2. Andrew Hansen going to be your leader through turns 1 and 2 in that 20. 3 wide behind him, Bogdanovic, Egan, and the 18 car of Gunnar Watkins. Going to race side by side behind him. Bogdanovic to drop back a little bit. Ty Egan now right up behind the 20 of Andrew Hansen. Egan going to look to the inside of him in 26T. Gunnar Watkins sitting in third. As Cody Coomer looking to move forward in the 12, works to the inside of the 79 car of Jeff Nowak. Egan going to work a lane up to the outside of Andrew Hansen. They will race side by side into turn number 3. Hansen with a slight advantage as they exit turn number 4. The 20 of Andrew Hansen continuing to lead. Ty Egan right there in 26T. Ty Egan, the Chippewa Falls youngsters, won a lot of races this year, and he's moving forward. He is now to the front of your second round of heat races. Egan's going to lead this time by in 26T. Halfway home for Egan in heat race number 1 in round 2. Egan, Hansen, and now Nowak into that third position. Gunnar Watkins sits fourth in the 18T. Cody Coomer in the 12. Kyle King going to try to make it 3 wide into turn number 1 as he worked to the inside of Cody Coomer. Coomer now going to peek underneath Gunnar Watkins into turn number 3. 2 laps to go this time by for Ty Egan. Andrew Hansen has not given up. He is right behind Egan into turn number 1. Problems for King in the 5. He gets a little squirrely here in the front chute. He will fall to the back of the field as Ty Egan's going to see the white flag this time by. 1 lap to go for your heat 1 in round 2. Egan, Hansen, Nowak. The 18 of Gunnar Watkins, your top 4. Battle is for 5th. Ty Egan going to be your winner. Hansen going to come home 2nd, and Nowak 3rd. So that's going to wrap up heat race number 1 in round number 2. Jeff Nowak going to come home 3rd. Runner up to Andrew Hansen in the 20. And your winner tonight races out of Chippewa Falls and that Rap Guys 26T. Give a hand for Ty Egan.
Hey, thanks a lot, Scott. Just got off the phone with Andrea Clare once again of Serve Pro. She said, let's get this thing going. Throw another $500 on first. So, Andrea, thank you very much. So far, she's given us $1,000 that goes on first place for the Little Dream Race. So we got a long ways to go yet. Big thanks to Todd Pettit of Pettit Outdoor Rentals in Hayward and Minong. This guy supports racing, youth sports, college sports. He is one of the good guys. Thank you very much, Todd, for throwing $200 on first. KB Properties throwing $200 on first. Red Cedar Speedway, thank you guys very, very much, throwing $200 on first. Also, Shelley Watkins of Remax Realty in Elk Mound throwing $200 on first. Reward Repair Center out of Superior, $200 on first. Chris and Madison of the Lubrication Station throwing $100 on first. Cody Emmons Racing, thank you, buddy, throwing $30 on first. Jeff Heinz throwing $20 on first. Cuts Forth Racing throwing $40 on first. So thank you guys very, very much. We'll continue to run through the donations. Scott, back up to you for another heat race.
Here we go, heat race number 8 of the night. Second race, heat race in round number 2. This is going to be our lineup. Driver starting the pole races on Ontario in that Wilson Farms number 55. That's Tyler Wilson to his outside. Auburndale's Kyle Jeanette in the TLC Transport 16X. Danny Richards is slated to start inside row number 2 in that Comrades Alado Salvage number 3R. To his outside, Zimmerman, Minnesota's Kyle Holland in the Bradford Built 05. Ryan Satter will sit inside row number 3. He's out of Dent, Minnesota in the Walt Construction 67. To his outside, a heat race winner earlier on this evening, the Blade Jim Randall in that Thrivent Financial 15. Cole Richards races out of Mondovi. He's in 1R. He will sit inside row number 4. To his outside, Jay Kesson in that Jim Lear Trucking number 7. So we're missing the 3R, Danny Richards, who was DQ'd a little earlier on this evening out of heat race round number 1. He is slated to start inside row number 2. As we will double check to see if Danny Richards is going to make the call for round number 2 of your heat races.
Hey, we got a blue Chevy Equinox out here in the parking lot up on the main grandstand. I guess your trunk is open, so a blue Chevy Equinox, your trunk is open. So some good fans come up, told us to announce it, so you might want to get to that here real soon.
Looks like the 3R, Danny Richards, is going to be a scratch. Tyler Wilson and Kyle Jeanette in row number 1. That's going to move Ryan Satter into row number 2 with Kyle Holland. Jim Randall and Cole Richards in row 3. And Jay Kesson going to round out your field for heat race number 2 in round 2. As Ontario's Tyler Wilson going to start things off in your second round for heat race number 2. So Kyle Jeanette, your earlier leader in 16. He moved from his outside row 1 position, and he looks good out front in 16X. Holland and Satter right behind him, as Jim Randall will try to insert himself into that battle in the bottom at 15. Jim Randall trying to make some hay in the bottom in 15. He will move to the inside of Kyle Holland as Ryan Satter continues to follow Jeanette through the middle of the track down the back straightaway into turn number 3. The 15 Jim Randall continues to work the bottom of the Rice Lake Speedway as he tries to find some advantage to work his way past Kyle Holland in 05. Now Cole Richards into the top 5 in 1. Ryan Satter is now pulled alongside Jeanette as they will work their ways through turn 1 and 2. Jeanette with a good run off of turn number 2. He continues to lead in 16X, the Auburndale, Wisconsin racer. Continues to lead as we have 5 down, 3 to go this time by for the 16X. Jeanette continues to lead in 16X. Satter behind him. The battle right now is for 3rd as Jim Randall continues to work underneath Kyle Holland in 05. Cole Richards looking for an opening. He'll try to peek underneath the Randall. 2 to go this time by for Kyle Jeanette in 16X. Holland going to push up the track a little bit. Going to open the door for Cole Richards. He will move into 4th. As Ryan Satter's going to have one more lap to try to move in front of Kyle Jeanette. White flag out this time by heat race number 2 in round 2. It's been all Kyle Jeanette Ryan Satter going to have one more chance. Try to move in front of him. He will follow him into turn number 3. Duck underneath, try to get around off the cushion, and Kyle Jeanette going to win heat race number 2 in round 2. So a good one here for heat race number 2 in round 2. As the Blade Jim Randall going to go home third, or runner-up to the 67 of Ryan Satter. And your winner tonight races out of Auburndale, Wisconsin. That TLC Transport 16X. Give him a hand, Kyle Jeanette.
Hey, we're down here with super stock hot shoe Cody Emmons. He's a regular at the Cedar Lake Speedway on Saturday night, my friend. You know what? Do not smile. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing great. It's great to be out at the Little Dream. I've always liked coming here, so yeah.
It's a really cool show, isn't it? I mean, it's fun to just sit here and watch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's nuts. I mean, they were racing for 27,000 last year. That is crazy.
I tell you what, update for you, Rice Lake Speedway. As of right now, we're at about $12,700 to win. We got some work to do, but, man, we're making some progress. So keep those about $12,700 to win the Little Dream.
All right, we are set to go heat race number 3 in round 2, and this will be your lineup. Driver starting on the pin, races out of Barron, Wisconsin. That CCR towing number 40T. That will be Nick Trainer. To his outside, Spooner, Wisconsin's Joseph Ott in the Slayton Plumbing 79. Hunter Van Gilder was scheduled to start inside row number 2. He had some mechanical issues earlier on this evening. He is not on the speedway at the moment. To his outside should be Trigo, Wisconsin's Eric Haupt in the Acker Construction 66. Zach Flickinger sits inside row number 3. He's out of Madison, Minnesota in the 15F. To his outside, Osseo, Wisconsin's Mike Knutson in 42K. Inside row number 4, slated to be John Callis in the Don Muzzy Construction number 3. To his outside, Tomahawk's Mike Brown in 15B. And your final starter on the field, a heat race winner earlier on this evening. Watch this guy, the 127P. That's going to be Parker Anderson in the Shocker Hitch sponsored machine.
Okay, drivers, here we go. Caution lights are out. Lead in 79.
So the 84 Hunter Van Gilder, unfortunately, going to be a scratch that will crisscross our field. And move Zach Flickinger up into row number 2 next to Eric Haupt. Knutson, Callis, Brown, and Anderson behind him. Nick Trainer and Joseph Ott off of row number 1 for heat race number 3 in round 2. Trainer going to be our early leader over Ott out of turn number 2 as he will stretch out to a 2-car length lead on the back straightaway. Trainer going to lead lap number 1. Ott solidly in second. Knutson going to work to the inside of Eric Haupt as he moves ahead out of turn number 2. Parker Anderson kind of sitting in a quagmire in the back in that 127, looking for an opening as he will try to accumulate some passing points to add to that heat race win earlier on this evening. Mike Knutson now going to work underneath Joseph Ott, trying to take away that runner-up spot behind Trainer. Knutson to the inside, Ott to this outside in 79. The 15F, Zach Flickinger looking for an opening. Now Flickinger working underneath Ott. He will try to track down Mike Knutson for second as it's all Nick Trainer out front in 40T. Parker Anderson with a power move, passes 3 cars out of turn number 4. He's now into 4th as he will try to work underneath Flickinger for that 3rd spot. Parker Anderson on the move in 127. Now to the inside of the 15F, a little rubbing as he goes by to turn number 4. Anderson now up to 3rd after starting dead last on the field. Laps winding down here for the 3rd heat race in round number 2. It's been all Nick Trainer out front. Mike Knutson looking good, runs second as Parker Anderson going to try to work past the 42K, and he'll have 2 laps to do so. Knutson a little slow to turn number 2, allows Anderson to close that gap down the back straightaway. Anderson continues to look for an opening. He's going to peek inside him out of turn number 4. They will race side by side underneath the flag stand. 1 lap to go. Parker Anderson now to the outside of Mike Knutson. Parker Anderson looking good in that Scott Bentz-owned 1ST. He will roll into second, but your winner going to be Nick Trainer in that CCT towing number 40. So that's going to do it for this heat race. Mike Knutson going to come home third. Parker Anderson going to be runner-up in 127. And your winner tonight races out of Bear in that CCR towing number 40T. Give him a hand, Nick Trainer.
All right, Scott, the donations continue to come in, man. We're going to break that record. I'm very confident. We got a long ways to go. Last tally was 12,700. More donations coming in. Broking Transport out of Grand Rapids throwing $250 on first. Bergman Tax out of Medford, Oklahoma, $250 on first. Brian Scara, Mr. Bob's, $200 on first. James Vandella Racing, Dan Kingsley Racing, throwing $200 on first. Twin Lake Concrete and Masonry, $100 on first. Wild Hogs doing it again, throwing $70 on first. So thank you guys very, very much, and we'll continue to take in the donations. And once again, thank you very, very much, Rice Lake Speedway. I mean, we can't even get close. You guys are the greatest fans around, and we certainly do appreciate it. So I'm going to get a tally here. We're going to give you another rundown. I'm going to continue to go through the donations, but we got a ways to go here to hit the 28,000.
All right, 10th heat race of the evening now on the Speedway. This is going to be your lineup. Driver starting on the pole will race out of Clark, South Dakota, and that Olson Plumbing number 314. That's going to be Tyler Lamb. To his outside, it's going to be Quentin Basitsky in the 87X. Justin Vogel will sit inside row number 2 and 10 in that MTH-sponsored machine. To his outside, Colton Klickman in the RDR Services number 28. Warren Bartholtz in 16. He will start inside row number 3. To his outside, Jeff Ekdahl in 11 Junior. Inside row number 4, we should see the 47 car of Montevideo, Minnesota's Russell Carlson. To his outside, Hinckley, Minnesota's Lucas Boyce in 7BR. And Adam Soltis was slated to start shotgun on the field. He had some mechanical issues earlier on this evening and went up in a pile of smoke. He is not making the call. He will be a scratch, so we will start 8 cars here in heat race number 10 as Tyler Lamb and Quentin Basitsky going to start things off from the front row. Big swarm of cars exiting turn number 2. We got a lot of evenly matched machines out there as Tyler Lamb will be your leader way up on the cushion, a little high up into the marble. He's going to lose a bunch of positions, opening the door for Justin Vogel in 10. Vogel with a tough break in his first round of heat races. He was charged with a caution, had to go to the back of the field and made his way back up towards the front, and he's looking good in the second round as he will be your early leader in 10 as we have problems over in turn number 4. As the 87 car, Basitsky, goes around, going to bring out the yellow flag.
So we got a couple pretty good donations rolling in here. Travis Lowe, Cross Country Towing, Cross Country Clearing just come up and said, hey, I'm going to help out. I'm going to put $500 on first. He's racing. He owns 2 cars. He also owns the other 40 of Nick Trainer, who won it 2 years ago. So a big thanks to Travis Lowe of Cross Country Towing, Cross Country Clearing for throwing $500 on first. Dirt Race Central out of Richmond throwing $500 on first. Thank you guys very, very much. Scott, back to you.
So caution lights are down. We are set to go. Justin Vogel started 3rd on the grid. He is now your leader out front by himself. Another mover, Jeff Ekdahl, who started 6th, will start inside row number 2. Vogel continuing to lead in 10. Behind him, the 28 car of Klickman. Ekdahl in the 11 will try to work to the outside of the 28. Halfway home this time by for Justin Vogel. As the Bruton, Minnesota racer looking good. He does have company. Wausau, Wisconsin's Colton Klickman right behind him. Ekdahl in the 11, the 16 of Warren Bartelt, and the 314 of Tyler Lamb. Our round out your top 5 is the laps dying down here in heat race number 10. It's going to be 2 to go this time by as we have some action over in turns 3 and 4. We have the 16 car of Warren Bartelt spun around over in turn number 4. It's going to bring out another yellow flag, going to give us a chance to send it down to Wally.
All right, Scott, a couple more donations come rolling in. Big thanks to everyone from Cumberland Oil and Race Fuel for throwing $100 on first. Joe Chakowski of Porky's Bar is making a challenge to all bar owners. If you can get another bar owner to match, he'll throw $100 on first. So thank you very, very much. Also, check this out. Extreme Auto and Gas out of Glenwood just donated $1,000 for first. So thank you guys very, very much. And we'll run through more donations here in just a bit.
So caution lights extinguished. We are set to go 2 laps to go here in heat race number 10. Justin Vogel, your leader, still, as we're going to try to wrap up this 10th heat race. Jordan Klickman on the 28. Jeff Ekdahl now with a good run off for turn number 2. He will work to the outside of Klickman and try to track down Vogel in 10. White flag out this time by for Justin Vogel. Vogel, Ekdahl, Klickman. Your top 3 as drivers will work the bottom of the Rice Lakes Speedway out of turn number 2. Tyler Lamb moving forward to 314. Jeff Ekdahl going to have one last shot to try to get by Justin Vogel. Vogel too strong. He will be your winner in heat race number 10. That's going to wrap up heat race number 10 as Klickman will come home 3rd in 28, runner up to Ekdahl in 11, and your winner tonight. He races out of Bruton, Minnesota in that Minnesota Truck Headquarters number 10. Give him a hand, Justin Vogel.
All right, Scott, I'm down here with Mason of the Steffes Street Stock Tour, and your champion pulling on the scale. You got to be pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he's been running consistent all year, and he's put up another great run tonight, so we'll see what he can do for the big money.
You know, I had the opportunity to announce Friday night Red Cedar Speedway as part of your series, and you got